Ladies and gentlemen, Real Madrid and Barcelona have already started, just like what the cool kids say nowadays. They started cooking each other, and it's literally the first week of La Liga. They have been going crazy. Xabi Alonso apparently started it all, right? They asked him about the refereeing in the Mallorca versus Barcelona match. Now, before I get into this, right, let me tell you just a quick recap of what happened in Barcelona versus Mallorca. Barcelona versus Mallorca, basically, they got 2 red cards. Mallorca, obviously, one of them was controversial, and they went at Rafinha for doing this type of tackle, almost a 2-footed. It was 1-footed, but it looked like a 2-footed tackle. It was a very deserved red card that was not given to Rafinha. And the last situation, obviously the Mallorca player, he got hit by the ball to his head. He fell down and the referee did not stop the game, while Mallorca players, they stood there waiting for the referee to blow his whistle and stop the game, and he didn't, and Ferran took the ball and he scored the goal. That was a quick brief, and Xabi Alonso said, "It's not my place to comment on what happens in other matches. I listened to Jagoba, which is Mallorca's coach, and he explained it very well." Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at what Mallorca's coach has said. He has said that, "I haven't seen a midfielder like Pedri in football." Okay, not that one. He said after the game, he said that, "We all saw it. Last week they explained to us that if there is a blow to the head, the game is stopped." Now, to give my take on this, right, if Mallorca's coach here is being right, if they actually explain to the coaches and to the teams that if there is a blow to the head by the ball mid-game, then the game should be stopped, then in my opinion, I'm sorry Barcelona, but you don't deserve that goal. I'm sorry Barcelona, but the referee was in your favor. I'm sorry Barcelona, but Mallorca definitely got robbed, and that second goal from Ferran Torres shouldn't have been counted. If La Liga officials already explained to you guys that if you take a blow, the game must be stopped, then that's the rules. Now, if it was not true and the La Liga didn't say that, should the game be stopped? Listen, if you talk about it as a non-football fan, if you ever taken a hit in the head by the ball, man, it hurts, it can lead to a concussion, and in my opinion, the game should be stopped. But at the same time, Mallorca players shouldn't have stopped and just stood there and do nothing and wait for the referee to blow his whistle. Why would you stop there? If you don't hear the whistle, you shouldn't stop the game, period. So it's a 50-50 here. I'll let you guys decide on that, right? Xabi Alonso has already said, we're starting the season and we'll see how things go. Hopefully we won't talk about too much about refereeing, and I don't want to speak too much about that. Xabi Alonso, the fact that the fact that it's a new manager, and just like Ancelotti, not only did you, I'm sorry to say this, but you gave us a boring match at the first game, but now you're starting to talk like Ancelotti as well, man. Going in there, already talking about referees. Now, time will tell when you will start actually talking about the referees and complaining that you lost a match or got robbed because a referee. It's probably coming soon, because you've already planted the seeds for that. You already are talking about the referees. I know they asked him the question and he answered, but you saying that you agree with Mallorca's coach and Mallorca's coach said all of that, obviously. Why? Like, focus on your own game. That's what I'm trying to say here, man. Because what happened, ladies and gentlemen, with our scenario? The penalty we got because of Kylian Mbappe falling down, obviously, and everyone, and the VAR after the game apparently, and ESPN also has said that Kylian Mbappe has appeared to step on the left leg of Joan Cruz before getting awarded a penalty kick. Ladies and gentlemen, all the Barcelona fans came out saying that this shouldn't have been a penalty. The one goal that Real Madrid scored to win this game, obviously. If you see the clip, I've said it in my Real Madrid review game, Kylian Mbappe, he stepped his foot on the Mallorca player and then he fell down, right? But ladies and gentlemen, I still think, maybe I'm being a bit biased, I still think this was a penalty. I genuinely think this was a penalty, even though Kylian Mbappe stepped his foot on the player, but the player slid. I'm sorry to say this, but the player genuinely slid. He slid in a penalty box. He shouldn't slid there, because if he takes out his foot, he might get Kylian Mbappe might get injured. But anyhow, he slid there, and if you take it in a non-football way, that should be a penalty in my opinion. So why is everyone crying about that? I genuinely don't understand, man. The fact that Hansi Flick or none of the Barcelona players came out to talk about this. The fact that none of Barcelona TV, ladies and gentlemen, if you compare it to Real Madrid's TV, right? Genuinely, this came out right before the Osasuna versus Real Madrid game. Instead of you speaking about the game that's about to come, this is what they said. The long shadow of Nigeria, which is the case of Barcelona and referees, obviously is still alive and working, right? The cameras showed a miserable child in Mallorca shot crying his heart out, and it wasn't strange. In a disgraceful first half of football, he saw two players from his beloved team sent off, a goal scored while his captain was lying on the pitch after taking a ball to the head, and top of that, a clear red card for Rafinha ignored. I wonder what would have happened if Mallorca's opponent had been Real Madrid, and if that scandalous goal scored by Ferran, validated by the Montero, had instead been scored by Vinicius, the scandal would have crossed borders. And the fact that Real Madrid, oh my god, how many times should I say Real Madrid TV on my screen, man? They said Lamine has suffered 113 fouls and the opponent have got 2 red cards for them. That's red card for the opponent every 6 fouls committed on him. Vinicius has suffered 421 fouls and the opponents have got 3 red cards for them. That's a red card for the opponent, only 100, like... This is just childish. The fact that you're bringing out ratios, calculating, doing mathematics is genuinely so childish. What am I seeing on my screen? Why is this real? What did I just see? Oh my... You know what? There's positives and negatives to everything, obviously. The positive here is that Real Madrid TV, they always come out and call out the referees, right? La Liga referees should be called out, man. The fact that it's the first week and we have almost up to 5 referee mistakes in 2 games only is genuinely unbelievable, right? The negative to this, Real Madrid TV, you come out genuinely an hour or 2 that this was posted, right before your game. You're not giving out any pre-match reviews. You're not giving out what do you think will happen in the Real Madrid versus Osasuna game. You didn't do any of that. You probably did. But the fact that your main focus, the fact that you had to go in that studio and say, whoop, we have to talk about the Barcelona game that happened genuinely 3 days before the Real Madrid game happened. Their game was on Saturday, Real Madrid played on Tuesday. You went on Tuesday on Real Madrid TV complaining about a game that is not even your game. First of all, and second of all, that happened 3 days ago. 72 hours ago. You're still out here complaining about the referees. You know, me as a Madrid fan, I am just getting a deja vu from last season, man. You coming in here on Real Madrid TV, calling out Barcelona game for some reason, and saying that they cheated. Brother, come on, man. Every team get their fair share of referees on their side. Real Madrid included sometimes. So please don't give me this BS anymore, man. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently Casado is being sold. Deco wants him to stay, but Casado has received offers from West Ham and they have rejected the offer, obviously. And Casado, apparently his market value is 30 million euros. And Barcelona fans, obviously, they're rioting about this, saying that Casado should not leave. The fact that they are even saying Casado and Pedri pivot is better than De Jong and Pedri pivot is unbelievable, man. Casado, very likable person for Barcelona fans. I didn't know he was that likable. Is he that much of a baller? I have watched him a couple of times last season, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you want Casado to stay? And do you think 30 million is a low price or is a high price? I genuinely don't know, man. Then last but not least, Rodrygo. Man, I've been seeing videos and clips on my social media, everyone being sad for Rodrygo. Even Barcelona fans have shared their opinion being sad because of Rodrygo, man. The fact that he didn't get any game time last game just made me so sad, and it's just unbelievable, man. You couldn't even give him a minute of a football game. The fact that he doesn't want to leave as well, but at this point he's being forced out to leave, man. Xabi Alonso, would it hurt you to play Rodrygo? He's actually a baller, man. I don't know what to believe. He said that he wants Rodrygo and he's crucial for the team, but let's be honest, that's just manager PR answer right there. Rodrygo is probably leaving and it's going to be such a big loss for Real Madrid, man. I'm not looking forward to this season, man. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the La Liga news. Should I name it something like a Barcelona and Real Madrid news, or should I name it La Liga news? I don't know, man. You guys tell me, let me know. Subscribe to the channel, man. Comment down, I see every single comment. Like the video, and gracias, amigos.